Every night at exactly 2 a.m., Bingo, a strange dog in a quiet African village, would wake up and run to the gate. He would stare at an abandoned house across the road and bark like he was trying to warn someone. Nobody understood what he was trying to say, but one night Bingo did something that made his owner follow him. That night, Bingo suddenly ran through the gate and crossed the road. Daniel quickly followed him. The dog stopped in front of the abandoned house and began barking at the locked wooden door. Daniel looked around nervously. There was nobody there. "Bingo, what are you seeing?" he asked. But the dog kept barking at the door. Daniel thought Bingo was simply frightened by something inside the house. But instead of leaving, Bingo ran around to the back. He stopped beside a large tree and began digging the ground with his paws. Daniel walked closer. "Why are you digging here?" Bingo refused to stop. Then Daniel noticed something strange. The soil looked freshly disturbed. Daniel became curious. He picked up a small stick and moved the loose soil aside. Suddenly, the stick hit something hard. Daniel stopped. He knelt down and began digging with his hands. A few seconds later, the corner of an old metal box appeared beneath the soil. Daniel stared at it in shock. "Bingo, what did you find?" The dog simply stood beside the hole and stared at the box. Daniel pulled the metal box out of the ground. It was old, rusty, and covered in dirt. He opened it carefully. Inside, he found several old photographs, a small notebook, and some documents. Daniel picked up one of the photographs. It showed a young woman standing in front of the same abandoned house. On the back of the photograph was a name, Amara. Daniel looked at Bingo. Who was this woman? The next morning, Daniel took the photograph and notebook to the village elders. As soon as they saw the photograph, their faces changed. One of the elders quietly said, "That is Amara." Daniel asked, "Who was she?" The elder explained that Amara had disappeared from the village 12 years earlier. She was never found. Before she disappeared, she had told several people that she was afraid someone was following her. Daniel looked down at the notebook. Suddenly, he realized that Bingo's strange behavior might have something to do with Amara. Daniel opened Amara's old notebook. Most of the pages were damaged, but a few words could still be read. One sentence caught his attention. "If anything happens to me, look inside the old house." Daniel's heart started beating faster. He showed the sentence to the elders. Nobody spoke for a moment. Then one elder said, "We searched that house when Amara disappeared. We found nothing." Daniel looked toward the abandoned house in the distance, but we didn't search it with Bingo. That evening, Daniel returned to the abandoned house with two of the village elders. Bingo ran ahead of them. The moment they entered the house, the dog moved quickly through the dark hallway. Then he stopped beside an old wooden wall. He scratched the wall several times and looked back at Daniel. Daniel walked closer. He knocked on the wall. Knock, knock. The sound was different. The wall wasn't solid. There was something hidden behind it. Daniel called the elders closer. Together, they pushed against the wooden wall. It moved slightly. They pushed again. Suddenly, part of the wall opened. Behind it was a small, hidden room. Everyone stood silently. Inside the room were old clothes, a broken chair, and several boxes covered in dust. Bingo walked inside and stopped beside one of the boxes. He began barking. Daniel slowly walked toward it. Something was definitely hidden inside. Daniel opened the dusty box. Inside, he found an old phone, a man's jacket, and several photographs. Then he noticed something that made his hands shake. One photograph showed Amara standing beside a man. Daniel recognized the man immediately. He was one of the most respected men in the village. The elders looked at the photograph in disbelief. Then Daniel picked up the old phone. There was only one video saved on it. He pressed play, and what they heard changed everything.